Welcome to a guide on the mistakes you should avoid when visiting bars in Thailand. This is something a lot of people get wrong, especially on their first trip, and a little bit of knowledge beforehand can save you money, stress, and awkward situations. The goal here isn't to scare you or put you off going out, it's to help you relax, enjoy yourself, and understand how things work so you can have a great time without unnecessary problems. The first thing you're going to want to do is decide where you're actually spending your night. Thailand has many different types of nightlife venues. There are regular bars, go-go bars, and gentlemen's clubs. In this script, I'm mostly going to focus on bars because that's where most people start and where most misunderstandings tend to happen. In almost any nightlife area you go to, you'll find different kinds of bars. Some bars are all-girl bars, some are all-ladyboy bars, and some are mixed. Mixed bars aren't always obvious at first glance. And that brings me to something important that needs to be said before going any further. There's a very common stereotype that if you come to Thailand, you should avoid ladyboys at all costs. This is a very simple-minded way of thinking, and honestly, it needs to stop. Ladyboys are people. They deserve respect just like anyone else. The idea that if you find out someone is a ladyboy, you should panic, run, or feel embarrassed is something you hear far too often, and it really doesn't make sense. Ladyboys are often some of the most fun people you'll meet on a night out. You'll rarely see one who isn't smiling or joking around. Yes, they can be a bit over the top at times, and yes, they can be a bit touchy or playful, but as long as you're polite, relaxed, and able to laugh about it, you'll usually have a great time. So whether you're in a ladyboy bar, a mixed bar, or a bar with only women, the mindset should be the same. Everyone is there to have fun. You're there to have fun. Don't overthink it. Just enjoy the night. Now let's say you found a bar you like and you decide to go inside. Very often you'll be led in by a woman standing outside the bar. Her job is to invite people in, smile, make conversation, and encourage you to sit down. Once you enter, either because she brought you in or because you walked in yourself, one of the women working there will usually sit with you or help you choose a seat. She'll then take your drink order. After you've ordered a drink, one of two things will usually happen. Either the woman who took your order will come back and sit with you, or another woman will come over and sit down to start a conversation. This is where a lot of people feel awkward or pressured, so let's clear something up right away. You can sit with whoever you want. Just because someone sits next to you and starts talking doesn't mean you are obligated to talk to her, entertain her, or buy her a lady drink. You are always in control of that decision. The key is how you handle it. If you're not interested or if you're just looking around and getting a feel for the bar, the best thing to do is be polite and honest. You can simply say something like, "I'm just relaxing and looking around at the moment, but thank you." That's it. No drama, no rudeness. Most of the time she'll understand immediately and move on. Every bar also has a manager, often called the mama-san. She's usually an older Thai woman, often near the cash register, or walking around keeping an eye on things. You can talk to her or to any of the women working there and say you like the look of a particular girl. If you do that, there's a very high chance that girl will come over and join you. Once a girl sits with you, there's a very predictable pattern of conversation that often follows. This leads into one of the most important points to understand about bar culture in Thailand. The questions she asks aren't random. They're designed to figure out how much money you might be willing to spend. She'll usually start with harmless questions like your name and where you're from. Then she'll ask if you're on holiday. If you say yes, that already tells her you probably have a higher budget than someone who lives there. Next, she'll ask how long you're staying. 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. The shorter the stay, the more likely you are to spend money quickly. Then she might ask if it's your first time in Thailand. That question is a big one. If it's your first time, you don't know how things work yet. You don't know what's normal, what's negotiable, and what to watch out for. That makes you a much easier target for small tricks designed to get you to buy more drinks. This doesn't mean every bar or every girl is trying to scam you. That's not true. But it does mean this is a business, and the people working there are experienced at reading customers. A smarter way to answer these questions is to sound relaxed and experienced, even if you're not. You can say you're staying for a few weeks or maybe a month, you're not sure yet, and that you've been to Thailand before and might even consider living there one day. That immediately changes how you're perceived. It suggests you know the scene and you're not easily pressured. Now let's talk about lady drinks, because this is where a lot of confusion happens. Lady drinks are drinks bought specifically for the women working in the bar. They cost more than your drink. and the woman earns a commission from them. That's how she makes her money. Do you have to buy lady drinks? No. When should you buy them? That depends on what kind of night you want. Some women, especially very popular or very attractive ones, won't even sit with you unless you buy them a drink first. Others will happily sit, talk, laugh and play games with you for a while before expecting anything. If you like a girl and you want her to stay with you, buying her a drink sooner rather than later usually makes sense. If she's sitting with you for 20 or 30 minutes and you don't buy her a drink at all, she's effectively losing money by staying with you instead of talking to someone else. That said, you're not obligated to buy a drink just because someone sits down. If you want to enjoy your beer, look around and relax. That's perfectly fine. Most girls will eventually get the hint and move on without any issues. One thing you should watch out for is pushy behavior. If a girl immediately demands drinks, downs them very quickly, and keeps asking for more, that can ruin the night. Some bar owners actually tell their staff not to be pushy because it drives customers away. If you feel uncomfortable, the best solution isn't to argue, just pay your bill, leave the bar and don't come back. There are countless bars to choose from. Be especially careful of emotional stories designed to make you feel sorry for someone. You might hear things like, "I've only worked here for a week and nobody has bought me a drink." While parts of that story might be true, it's often framed in a way to trigger sympathy. Many girls work on short contracts and are very experienced, even if they're new to that particular bar. Another common situation is when a girl suddenly invites a friend over. The mood is high, everyone's smiling, and then you're asked to buy the friend a drink as well. This puts you in an awkward position. Remember, you can always say no, just do it politely. You can say something like, "Maybe later, I'm just enjoying our time right now." That usually keeps things smooth. Now let's talk about how you pay your bill, because this is important. Every time you order a drink, a receipt goes into a small container on your table. This container is sometimes called a bin. At the end of the night, you pay everything in that bin. You should keep an eye on it throughout the night. Not obsessively, but enough to know what's going on. If you've had 10 drinks and suddenly there's an extra one on the bill, it's hard to remember everything clearly after a few beers. Check your receipts every now and then. No one will think you're cheap. You're just being sensible. If you ever notice a small discrepancy and you're sure something is wrong, the best thing to do is still usually to pay and leave. Arguments rarely end well, and it's not worth escalating things. Your safety and enjoyment are more important than a small amount of money. Another key thing to understand is that the affection you receive in bars is part of the job. The women are very good at making you feel special. They're touchy, attentive, and affectionate because that's how they earn money. That doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means you need to keep your expectations realistic. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the company, but don't assume it's love or a deep connection. Sometimes there are genuine feelings, but those cases are rare. Protect your heart and enjoy the experience for what it is. Games are also very common in bars. Dice games, Connect 4, Jenga pool, and similar games are usually played for drinks. If you lose, you buy a drink, and that drink is usually a lady drink. Be careful with skill-based games. Many of these women have been playing them for years and are very good. Losing can add up quickly, so only play if you're comfortable with that. If the night is going well and you want to continue outside the bar, some places have rooms upstairs you can rent by the hour. Other times you can bar fine a girl and leave the bar together. Not every girl can be bar fined and not every bar allows it. Asking is not offensive. Bar fine prices vary, and it's best to confirm them with the mamasen or cashier rather than relying only on what the girl tells you. That avoids misunderstandings later. Once you've paid the bar fine, you can decide what you want to do next. Just remember that you're the one paying, so you get to choose where you go. At hotels, girls often leave their ID at reception. This is for everyone's safety and is completely normal. Serious problems are rare, especially with bar girls. Freelancers carry more risk, so be aware of that difference. Always agree on prices for time or services before leaving the bar. Don't wait until the next morning. Clear communication upfront avoids uncomfortable situations later. If you go back to a bar another day and the girl you spend time with is with someone else, don't take it personally. It's her job. On the other hand, if you bar find a girl, don't go back to the same bar and start spending time with her coworker. That can cause embarrassment and awkwardness. Go-go bars are different. They're louder, more expensive, and more transactional. Some people love them, Others prefer regular bars. Gentlemen's clubs offer more privacy and are becoming more popular. Each option has its pros and cons. Nightclubs are full of freelancers, especially late at night. Drinks are more expensive and things can get pricey fast. Be aware of what you're getting into. Finally, remember this. In Thailand, nothing in this scene is truly free. You either pay with money or with drama. The smartest approach is to be respectful, clear, and realistic. Enjoy yourself, but don't try to outsmart the system. If you keep all of this in mind, you'll have a much smoother, safer, and more enjoyable nightlife experience in Thailand.